Hello and welcome to
Wake Up Missoula. Good morning, everyone.
Missoula's only hyper-local morning show.
We've got a good show today. We've got a lot of guests on. And
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about America's Super Ms. pageant.
Which
Yep.
I'd never heard
Super
of before,
Ms.
Yep.
so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we also have Shira Scott on from County Elections, so that's going to be great to talk to her.
And we're going to be talking to Meg Rogozinski about the Doggy Dash as well.
Doggy Dash,
as well as
sounds
showing
great.
a PSA about dog collars, dog licensing, dog poop, all
I can't
sorts of
believe
stuff.
there are almost like 30,000 dogs in Missoula.
Yeah,
That's like half of the population.
everyone loves their dogs.
Yeah.
You know,
And
their
we'll
Subarus.
talk more about that later. But for right now, I want to mow on through all the Megs that we got going on, all the new programming that we are going to be having the next couple, at least for a little while.
Cool.
So the first one on the list is the Missoula County Democrats monthly meeting, and it's a two-parter. The first part is about the county commissioners. So as you can see here, these are your three candidates for your county commissioner. In the middle, it's Donald Davies. On the right is, oh man, I got it wrong. It's Nicole Rowley, and to the left, it's Michelle Landquist. And to the next, we have our sheriff department, and these are the guys running for sheriff. We got Josh Clark to the left, TJ McDermott in the middle, and to the right, we got Bob Parcell. So these are your candidates of what's
who-
going on.
yeah,
The
who we're
upcoming
gonna vote for.
primary candidates and county elections. Sheriff is primary elections. But these two are from 5 to 7 p.m. So each of them, the county commissioners meet your county commissioner candidates at 5 p.m. today, and meet your county commissioners, your sheriff candidates at 6 p.m. And then later on, we have a hospice community conversation that we want to show, and
It's a pleasure to come and promote this thing which I believe in so strongly.
And this is community conversations with the Hospice Care Foundation. They talk about their life stories, and they gather strength from each other.
Yeah, this lady was talking about how to compile your life story easily when you get to that age where you want to start reflecting and,
That's really important. I feel like that's a good point. It's a good skill to have.
And last, before we bring out our first guest, we're gonna be showing Celebrate Piano number 6, and this is featuring concert pianist and artist teacher Sasha Starsfish. Sorry. Anyways, this is it. And while we're showing this, we're gonna bring out the two ladies that we have.
yes, we are. Okay, go ahead.
We need to
We're good.
All right.
Hey guys,
Well, we've
welcome back.
Yeah, we've got Kevy here and Salinas from Montana. You go ahead, you say it.
We are from America's Super Ms. pageant, and we are the Montana Ms. and Mrs. representatives.
Awesome, awesome. So tell us a little bit about the pageant. It's coming up, and it's in Hamilton, right?
Yes.
It is. It is.
Go ahead.
The pageant is on June 22nd in Hamilton at the Performing Arts Center, and it was started by Janet Beer out of Hamilton. Her daughter Alanya was killed in a traffic accident in 2010, and her and Alanya used to do pageants together, and so she started it in her honor to represent all of the state and national representatives, title holders, promote seatbelt safety and seatbelt use in honor of Alanya. And then we have our own titles that we promote as well. So
Tell us about the titles. There's a lot of them.
There is. There's different divisions, and so there's like preteen, teen, Miss, so MISS, Ms. So she's Ms. Mrs. We have Super and Classic. So there's a different age, or like the super division, then they may be a plus size woman. So it ranges in ages and different sizes and from different states. And so we actually have our state title in our division. And so then in June we'll compete nationally against women in our division, and so they might have, you know, different state titles, and then whoever wins the division, then they actually have a national title.
Nice.
The one of them that really stood out to me is classic. Could you harp on a little more about that? Because the first thing I think about when you talk about classic is like, you know, like Coca-Cola. Oh, it's the new Coke. It's the new pageant. And they bring it back to the classic Coke.
It's those 49 older than 49 years of age.
Okay.
And so we all the way from preteens all the way on up. So.
And we have a division also, which is by nomination only, and then there's a committee that decides for America's Super Hope Princess.
Yes.
Which started a few years ago, and it's for girls with illnesses or diseases or issues in life that would not allow them to compete normally. You know, that they just have certain things going on.
That's great.
So, and they're nominated by family and friends, and then it goes before a board, and then that little gal is surprised. She gets to spend the weekend with the queens, with the state title holders, not quite understanding what she's doing. She thinks she's just there to help. And then her family knows, but then she is surprised the night of the pageant and actually crowned.
Cute.
So
That's so nice.
that one's a lot of fun to be a part of.
Great. So this is like a beauty pageant, like with a mission.
Yes,
pretty much.
very
And
much
what
so.
is the beauty pageant's mission?
To promote seatbelt safety and seatbelt use and awareness, and just kind of get the word out there of you know, the things that can happen and the ways to prevent it. So
Yeah. When did this start?
2011.
Okay.
2010, I think.
And
No, she started. The first one was in 2011.
Right.
how does one get involved with this?
They can go to americasuperpageant.com.
Okay.
And so if you go onto the website, that has a whole different set about info, how to enter, what the entry fees are. It has a frequently asked questions. It shows some of the past queens and all the information about what the pageant is, and you know, you don't have to just promote seatbelt safety. You can have your own platform. Each one of us have our own individual platforms that we promote. And a platform, for those that don't understand that or don't know what that is, it's just your cause, what you believe in, what it is that you're trying to use your reign or your title to promote. And so we promote seatbelt safety, but we each have our own individual platforms as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
So for our audience, what can you tell me when and where it's going to be for everyone?
June 22nd at the Hamilton Performing Arts Center, and so in Hamilton, Montana. And if you don't know where that is or don't know how to find it, again, you can just go right to the website. It has, you can follow our director Janet on Twitter. There's a Facebook page. There's an email address.
We have a Facebook page.
If you're looking for it, you'll find it.
Exactly. Just do America's Super Ms. Pageant and you'll find it.
Yes.
Great.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Just thank you for letting us come on and talk about it and let people know.
And buckle up. Everybody should buckle up, no matter if it's a short trip, a long trip. Just use your seatbelt. It's there for a reason. So
Absolutely.
Thank
thank you for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
And we'll be right back, but first we're going to show a PSA about dogs.
Nice.
All right.
Perfect.
At this point in Missoula County, we estimate there's about 30,000 dogs, and we have about 13,000 licensed dogs. So there are a lot of dogs out there that aren't licensed, and we're concerned that they're not up on their rabies vaccinations. All the laws that we enforce are misdemeanors. They're violations of a city ordinance or a county ordinance, and they can carry a range of fines from $25 for maybe a first-time offender up to $500 for someone that continues to offend. Once you're outside the city limits, they don't have to be on leash, but they have to be within voice constraint. So a lot of people take their dogs up to the Blue Mountain area, for example, because that's in the county, not the city. And as long as your dog is within voice command, you can take them out there and then they can be off leash.
We decided to start a program called the K9 Kids. And what it is it's active outdoor recreation for youth of Missoula and their dogs. So you can come and drop your child and your dog off for an hour after school on Wednesdays at McCormick Park to have fun and promote physical fitness and positive pet ownership in all of our parks.
Public parks exist for people to play, come together, socialize, and really enjoy their community and quite frankly, our great outdoors. And dogs are an important part of that. Always pick up after your dog. It's not fun when other people step in dog waste, they smell dog waste along the way, you end up tracking it on carpets and floors. There are germs, there's viruses, bacteria that dogs have when they eliminate, just like people would. And so we want places to be clean, safe, and everybody should feel welcome. The last thing I'm going to say is if your dog's on voice restraint and he or she is approaching people, call him back. Not everybody wants another dog in their face, standing on them, approaching their children or their dog. If invited, feel free, let them play. So enjoy your dog and let everybody else enjoy their parks and open spaces too. Thank you.
All right. Well, we should thank Philip Christensen for providing that PSA for us. Thanks, Philip.
Definitely. On the phone, we got Meg Rosinski from the Parks and Recreation, Missoula Parks and Recreation. Meg, you're talking about the Doggy Dash. Could you talk about when and where it's going to be?
Sure. The Doggy Dash is pretty much the only run in Missoula for you and your four-legged best friend. It is on Sunday, May 18th. We actually have a free doggy expo going on from 11 to 3 in McCormick Park. The 5K starts at 12:30, and the 1 mile fun run starts at noon. We're going to have, local dog stores, vendors, groomers, agility training, all that sort of fun stuff going on in the park during the run. All the local dogs that are up for adoption, either from the Humane Society or Animal Control, are going to be there, and they're going to have doggy bandanas on, so you can actually adopt your new best friend right there that day and run in the race while you're running in the race. And it's supposed to be a really great day.
Wow. How many have you had in the past? How many people with dogs show up?
We usually average around 100. We like to keep it around there, just because any more than that sometimes it gets pretty crazy in the park. All the dogs have to be leashed and have to be vaccinated with their rabies vaccination. They have to be leashed at all times in the park. And we're going to have a doggy photographer out there to take pictures of you and your best friend, and awards for first place finishers in both the events. And the big thing that's new this year is that kids under 10 can race for free. So you still need to register your kiddo, but if you have a child that's 10 and under, they can race in the 5K or the 1 mile for no cost at all.
Nice.
Very cool.
That's a lot of neat stuff. I think this is a great opportunity for people, since we live in such a big dog town, and like we just saw a PSA that apparently over 30,000, there's over 30,000 dogs in Missoula, and then there's just so many.
I mean, we are a dog town. I've got 2 dogs myself. You might be able to hear them in the background right now. They'll be out there, and all the proceeds go directly to supporting homeless dogs and cats in our community through Missoula County Animal Control. So they'll be out there. It just should be a really, really great day to come out and celebrate being healthy and active in our city parks with your best friends.
Cool.
That sounds great. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about in the Doggy Dash?
Sure. To register, you can go on active.com and look up Doggy Dash 2014, or you can stop by Currents Aquatic Center at 600 Craig Lane right there in McCormick Park, or you can call 721-PARK and register over the phone.
Great.
All
yeah,
right.
That sounds great.
Well, thanks for joining us. I can't wait. This should be fun.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys, for having us on. Really hope to see you out there.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Nice.
Yep. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
it
definitely.
does. May 18th. Cool. I'm trying to get out there.
Yep. And I think we should talk about some of your events that are going on.
Oh,
now.
yeah,
We've been like having all these people come on and all this stuff.
Yep, I've got some events happening. Okay, so, excuse me, as everyone knows, well, I guess as most of people know, it's Craft Beer Week in Missoula. And so, they've been having like celebrations of beer stuff happening all week. And so Bayern Brewing Company is offering Make Your Own Beer Journal tonight at Bayern Brewing Company. It's at 5 p.m., and I'll read you the event page. Calling all craft beer fans and home brewers, we have an exclusive class offering during Missoula Craft Beer Week in which you can make a medieval-style leather-bound beer book. You can choose either a beer journal insert suitable for tracking all the beers you taste and breweries you visit, or for the home brewers, choose a detailed insert for keeping notes of every batch brew you make. They will be using the leather long stitch method, an ancient multi-signature book structure that lays flat when opened and makes for an awesome journal. Pages are sewn directly into the leather and make a decorative pattern on the spine. Materials will be provided and no previous bookbinding experience necessary. Tickets are $50 and it'll run from 5 to 8 p.m. So that's tonight. So if you guys are interested in making a beer journal, go check it out. That sounds like it'll be pretty sweet. Yeah. And then then the Kettle House is having a Missoula Firefighter Combat Challenge fundraiser. The Northside Kettle House will be having, it's at 5 p.m., the annual Firefighter Combat Challenge Team Pint Night at the Northside Kettle House. This event will have great beer, amazing raffle prizes, and all proceeds will go to hosting the 2014 Missoula Firefighter Combat Challenge regional event to be held on July 4th and 5th in downtown Missoula. So get out there, support your firefighters. Yeah. And then, up next, we've got Top Hat Lounge is having a jazz night at 7 p.m. tonight. L3O will be performing. It's an all-ages show and free event. And if you would like to know what L3O sounds like, you can check out YouTube and listen to them. And on Thursday, 5 p.m., there is a downtown drop-in wine tasting at La Grata Bella, which is beneath the Old Post. This is every Thursday, 5 p.m. Cost is $10, and each week is a different theme, and the theme this week is Syrah. So if you are a wino and want to get out into the community, I suggest that tomorrow night. And there will be music at the Palace, at the Sunrise Saloon, the Dark Horse, the Badlander, and there's open mic at Sean Kelly's and the Broadway. Yeah, so
Sounds great.
Yeah, that's just some stuff going on tonight and tomorrow night.
Cool, yeah, very cool. A lot of craft beer week is a pretty big thing.
Brewfest, craft beer Brewfest is on Saturday, so that should be good.
Kettle House's Double Hall IPA is like an international
they won a gold for it, I hear.
Yeah, so Missoula is known around the world for its beer. We are a beer town and a dog town, it seems.
Everyone loves our beer and dogs. They go hand in hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty much.
So cool. What do we got going on next, Scott?
Well, we got your stuff.
Yeah.
You're going to talk about a little bit about City Council, even though it was only like 20 minutes long.
Yeah, City Council was only a short 21 minutes long on Monday evening.
Oh, that must be nice for them.
Yeah, definitely. But let's...
Before we begin, I want to just show the webpage for the Missoula County.
Yeah.
City of Missoula webpage, so you can find information about what's going on in Missoula in terms of city government, where you can find the agenda, and you can find all sorts of great, wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also a great place where you can find minutes, agenda items, all that stuff, so you know what to expect from these meetings. And if you miss these meetings, I'm over here, you can... watch them on through Siri, public, all the stuff through our channel. It goes in on demand, and we have a lot of great stuff. Josh has a couple videos he wants to show us from the City Council.
Yeah. So one of the things that they were talking about, they did a presentation on traffic circles. It was called Traffic Circles 101, and Jane Kelly actually gave the presentation. So we'll watch a little bit of it now.
I'm Jane Kelly, Neighborhood Coordinator in the Office of Neighborhoods. I want to give you a little report on the recent training we had on Wednesday at Bonner Park. It was in the mid-40s, the wind was 20 to 25 miles an hour, and we were all very chilly. There were about 25 brave souls came out and presented and helped and learned about adopting their traffic circles and making them beautiful. A little bit of history is most of them were established at the request of neighborhood property owners. And it's been many years ago, and they had volunteered originally to take care of them. Well, many people have either passed away or moved, and new people don't really know about the traffic circles and how to maintain them. So we're trying to educate everyone and give them some incentives and bring them out and have some fun and get to know each other and take care of their traffic circles and beautify their neighborhoods. So we really...
That was Jane Kelly talking about traffic circles, and here is Ed Childress. He is commenting on the traffic circle presentation. So let's hear from Ed.
Thanks to Ms. Kelly and folks in the Park Department and people in Public Works for putting together some resources for people that are trying to take care of our traffic circles. I appreciate your work. Very much appreciate the efforts of people who are trying to take care of them. They're really a public benefit, and being taken care of by private individuals is, I think, a pretty cost-effective thing for the city. A nice thing for people because they can make some changes in them if they want. Appreciate it.
All right.
Mr. Von Lutz.
And the next thing that was really interesting with City Council was the proclamation that Mayor Engen got to talk about.
So, before we start, beautifying the what are they doing?
They're beautifying the traffic circles, so they get to choose which plants they can grow in the middle of them.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it kind of gives people their own individual a way to be individuals.
Basically, everyone to get a chance to show off their green thumb.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
So, and traffic circles are really cool. I think they're kind of European, and
yeah.
Like they fall. As I said before, Bob Giordano from Missoula Institute of Sustainable Transportation always says that traffic circles are more organic or natural because nature moves in circles, it flows in circles, as opposed to.
And I gotta say, just one thing. My favorite roundabout thus far is the one on Scott, Spruce, and Toole Street. Because you have 5 or 6 different lanes going to that one roundabout.
Yeah.
And roundabouts are the perfect way to deal with a lot of those difficult roads for sure.
Yeah, major improvement there.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, let's listen to the mayor as he talks about this proclamation.
December 28, 1970, President Richard Nixon signed into law the Occupational Safety and Health Act. And since 1989, community workers and local government leaders have gathered on April 28th to commemorate those who have lost their lives working to provide a good standard of living for their families and communities. And whereas, despite the Occupational Safety and Health Act, which was intended to provide American workers the right to a safe workplace and safe conditions, tens of thousands of American workers are killed by workplace injuries, and tens of thousands more are permanently disabled by job-related disease or injury. And whereas concerned Americans are determined to prevent these tragedies, all employers, including local governments, are urged to dedicate their efforts to improving workplace safety standards, seek stronger enforcement of health standards, and treat workers with dignity. And whereas Americans can honor our workers by observing Workers' Memorial Day as a day to remember those victims of workplace injuries and disease, and by rededicating ourselves to improving safety and health in every American workplace, now therefore I, John Engen, Mayor of the City of Missoula and the State of Montana, do hereby proclaim April 28th, 2014 in Missoula as Workers' Memorial Day, and ask all citizens to recognize and honor all workers killed, injured, and disabled on the job, thank them for their service, offer sympathy to their families and loved ones, and to respect today's workers by providing safe workplaces.
All right, so that was Mayor John Engen talking about Workers' Memorial Day. Now, one really touching moment in Monday's City Council meeting was when John Wilkin talked about his major accident that he had in the workplace. So let's hear from John Wilkin.
So it's kind of ironic that you read that proclamation, because on April 29th of 1990, I got caught in the ditch cave-in on a construction site, and obviously you all know I lost a leg during that. So, safety, it's a big thing on construction or anything else that we do, and I appreciate all the work that OSHA does.
Ms. Marler.
Yeah, and we have a guest on here, right here.
Hey, Sharon.
Hi. Good. How are you guys?
Good.
Yep, this is your second week here, and this time you want to talk a little more about elections that are coming up.
Yes, absolutely. Most importantly, this week we want to bring up some very important dates that are upcoming this next week. So on the 5th, on Monday, is the end of voter registration for the primary election. So you'll want to make sure to get registered to vote for that election. Now we will have late registration, but it's much easier if you make the deadline and register by May 5th.
And how would people register?
They can come into our office. There's registration forms online. We always plug the Missoula Votes website, but the Secretary of State has them as well. We'd like to see you as well, so
Right.
feel free to come in. If you'll
Yeah, I definitely want to come in and do that before the deadline.
Yes, before Monday.
It's before Monday at 5 p.m. or
Monday
so?
at
Okay,
5
so...
p.m. So you have all day Monday if you're a procrastinator, but it's best not to come in at, 4:55.
Yeah.
And it's just downtown. It's like just a short walk away.
Yep, down at the courthouse there, on the Pine Street entrance. We're on the first floor, so we're pretty easy to get to.
Very cool. What other dates are important?
Well, the other reason that May 5th is important is because we're mailing out absentee ballots for the primary elections. So those forms that we sent out a while ago, the absentee confirmation forms, need to be back to us by the 5th if you're going to receive a ballot in the mail for the primary. Of course, you're always welcome to go to the polls.
Right.
And those will be open. But if you want to receive it by mail, you need to get those in by May 5th.
Is there any information on where the polls are for these elections?
There is. If you look online, we have the polling locations.
Okay, great.
Posted online. There's a long list of them, so I can't rattle them all
Yeah, you gotta
off,
go up
Right.
in, yeah.
I mean, if you search from online, they'll tell you pretty much.
They'll tell you. And you can also go to the My Voter app, and it'll tell you where your polling location is and what your precinct is. So that's a great way to find out the status of your ballot as well.
Great. What are some levies that they're trying to pass?
Oh gosh, there's quite a few on the ballots, and I didn't bring all the ballots with me this time. But
Isn't one of the main ballots is the special district through the police department and the fire working together for this special district they're trying to get through?
I saw that. That's actually something the city's doing,
Right.
And it's not on the ballot. So I received it in the mail, and it just looks like something you fill out and. For the city, if you disagree,
I noticed
you can support it, or
I got a ballot from I still get my ballot from from my parents' house, like way on the other side of town because they live in the county, they don't live in the city.
Oh,
and one of the elections was for a ballot to increase EMTs and firefighters' response time over up on the I guess it's Up Mullen. That area, that was one of the levies that they were trying to do.
I know Missoula Rural Fire District has a levy going on. I believe some of the elementary schools, and I'm not going to be able to pull it off the top of my head, have one going on. I know Sealy Lake has some elections happening out there, so there's quite a bit on the ballot. And again, you can view those online if you're wondering what you'll be voting on.
Great.
Those are available to view on our Missoula Votes webpage.
So you're talking about dates. So are there any more important dates?
There is. On Tuesday, the 6th, is the end of the school election. Or that's the school election date, I guess. So we'll need your ballots by then if you want to vote on the school special district election. So on that Missoula Rural Fire issue.
Okay.
You'll want to be sure to get those in as well.
And all information is on Missoula Votes, right?
It is, or feel free to call our office too.
Great.
We have a very helpful staff.
Okay.
Very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Just get out there and vote. That's
Get
all I
out
gotta
there
say.
and vote. Yeah, absolutely. If you have any questions, like I said, be sure and call our office. You should be receiving. I think we've sent out about 40 to 50% of the voter confirmation cards. So there's been a little bit of confusion surrounding those because we're encouraging people to become absentee voters and sign up to receive their ballots by mail. But it sort of sounds like perhaps in the letter that we're removing you from the absentee list and you need to call our office to sign up again, which isn't the case. If you're on the absentee list, we're not taking you off. You're staying on there. And if you're not, please sign up. It's a great way, an easy way to receive your ballot.
Absolutely.
Great.
Well, thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show. We are definitely
again.
running out of time. We can just end the show like we did last week for sure. Just any other things we want to talk about before we go, guys?
No, I don't know. Is there anything else?
Oh gosh, let's see. I was going to say, I think I misspoke last week on the Missoula city elections. I mentioned that they were a poll election, and that's actually something that the city decides.
Okay.
So just to be perfectly clear on that, it can be either a mail ballot election, which they've decided to do numerous times, or it can be a poll election.
Okay.
So a little clarification
That's
there,
good.
I guess, on that. But
Awesome. Well, again, thank you for being on the show,
yeah,
Sharon.
thanks for having me.
And I'll end it by saying, for Wake Up Missoula, I'm Scott Ramp.
I'm Noelle McAvoy.
And I'm Josh Mitty.
Thanks for joining us.